Billy has a request, a new rule that he would like America to abide by.
Yeah, just common courtesy, decency. If the broadcast on the TV decides we don't need to see this injury again, don't put it all over social media and just show me the injury that I don't want to see. The first time I remember it happening was Kevin Ware, and that was, like, scary because that was, like, everywhere, and I went out of my way to not see it until someone decided I needed to see it, and they just kind of put it on my feed. But yesterday, the same thing happened with Chubb, where it was like, yeah, we're just not going to show you this one because it was pretty gruesome, and then it's just all over Twitter.
I feel like I didn't see it that much on Twitter. I feel like the internet was being better. I feel like the internet has learned a little.
No.
I'm not saying it's not out there, but the Kevin Ware thing was like you could not avoid it. I didn't see the Chubb one.
I would say that Billy needs to learn. We all need to learn because you know it's going to be there. So stay off social media.
Well, I didn't know it happened. I'm just scrolling through, and then I see this injury, and then I turn on the TV. They're like, oh, we're not going to show you that. And it's like, thanks, Troy. It's a little late for that.
I think we need to see it.
No.
As a country. No, I know. But I think we need to see it, to see what these guys go through for our entertainment. Like, it's a bit of a gladiator sport. Hey, when you go to the Coliseum and a tiger rips a dude's head off, like, yeah, that's what I paid to see. Like, it sucks, but that's what they're doing, and that's why to pay them and to make sure they're taken care of after sports, like, that's why it's important to see it.
Fantasy football has made me a bad person now, where if I see a guy injured, my first thought is he on my team? And then as soon as it's a defense, okay.
Yeah, me too. I thought I had Chubb for a minute. I had to look that up.
I was playing against Chubb.
Not nice.
So you were happy?
We should keep some of these things to ourselves.
Oh, but Lucy, I would say to you,
wasn't.
this part I find fascinating, right? Because I was arguing about this with Stephen A. Smith about debate culture and how we talk about athletes, but this right here is a poison as well. And I actually think Tony's right on this one. Because, yes, I'm squeamish. I don't want to see it. Please don't show it to me. Keep me away from it. Oh, that's what football is. That seems horrific. I might want that reminder every once in a while. Nick Chubb, he can squat. What? How many pounds can he? Like, that's the strongest lower body there is in the history of that position. Is that guy running? You can't tackle him because his lower body is that strong. Oh, that sport does that to that body. Yep. Yeah. That's disgusting. Don't want to see it. Yeah, week 2.
Keep watching.
Yeah, we're going to keep watching. But
Get Up this morning had a list of all the running backs we've lost already this season. Yeah. There's 4 of them.
It's
only
amazing.
2 for the whole season.
More than 4.
4 have big injuries.
And their money goes down in the quarterbacks. And Mahomes.
Barkley's one of them.
They reworked Mahomes because, look, man, this is what happened to the economy of this sport is all of football realized, well, wait a minute. Super violent. There are 360-pound people out there tackling my running back. Running back's disposable. Le'Veon Bell goes from the most patient and most amazing to, gone in a couple of years. Todd Gurley, gone in a couple of years. Sean Alexander, you were great. Get out of here. The lifespan, 3-4 years. We're not going to pay you, not going to pay you, not going to pay you. Hey, Nick Chubb, great. You were great. My God, one of the most fun things. The only reason to watch last night is Nick Chubb is amazing in his lower body. And don't want to see it. Billy, I don't mind. I don't blame you at all for wanting to shield your eyes and be protected from it. I'm stunned to be siding with Tony on this because I don't want to see it. I don't want the reminders.
You feel like we need reminders?
Stugotz.
It also doesn't change your practice at all, though.
We
so
don't
what
know
difference does it make if you know?
Right, exactly. We don't know what they're doing every Sunday, Dan?
I don't think that we know entirely because I would say if you say to yourself, is he on my fantasy team? My guess is that if another human being is in some kind of fundamental physical pain because that's somewhere you can die, we thought last year. You can die.
Right.
And it's like, well, was he on my fantasy team? That we probably don't want to be that cold. Probably want to be like you're asking the internet for decency there.
So I should feel bad about rushing to my computer trying to pick up Jerome Ford last night?
I'm just saying that is, you don't need to feel bad about it, but that's where athletes get even more dehumanized.
What waiver spot are you?
3rd.
No
Not
shot.
getting them.
Yeah, you're not getting them.
Maybe the Giants back up, though.
Matt Breida.
All right.
The audience doesn't care, right?
Or the Ravens.
The audience wants the addiction of fantasy.
They care about what fantasy waiver spot they have.
Yeah. And it sounds like I'm being negative on a very positive thing, right? But we can't disagree that the way that fans feel entitled to ownership of rosters has affected the way that we look at the athletes.
Greg is starting to look like Colonel Jessup's.
I have no idea who that is.
I think it's Jessup.
He added an S.
rank.
I
That's
can't.
what old people do.
That's
I
a
mean,
fine.
Is it?
It's not Jessup's. It is what old people
But
do.
he does look like that, right?
He is starting. He does look. I can't believe that right now Greg Cody looks like one of the stars of A Few Good Men.
He looks like Jack Nicholson.
Video, can you please put Colonel Jessup in the corner of the screen, replacing Stugotz, replacing Stugotz as Paul Feinbaum's.
Thank you, Dan Batard.
Put them next to each other. Colonel Jessup, he looks great. Greg Cody looks like a general right now who, you're goddamn right, he ordered the code red.
Can't handle the truth.
Goddamn right I did.
You want me on that wall?
Greg is moving from Lyndon B. Johnson now to like Gerald Ford. It's a good look for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an honor. Jerry Ford.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Old
offensive
Jer.
line.
Yeah.
I cannot help, Stugotz. I cannot help. As an alleged media mogul. Roy, I love that you laugh every time the Razors go on. Yeah, it's so good. It goes on louder and louder. But I can't help but think, this is word association for me, Stugotz, as somebody who's trying to run a media company. And we had Shannon Sharp asking for very little money.
We had him first.
We had him first, and he asked for very little. And we're like, no, we don't want to pay you anything.
Maybe after CBS. I mean.
But okay, fair enough. But when he was trying to get back in the market, he
Yes,
was
we had
asking.
him. Yeah.
We had him before he turned into what he is today, and we had him, and this is what he did from A Few Good Men.
We live in a world that has walls, and these walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg. I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, you curse the ring. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my appearance, grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth that deep down in places at parties, you don't talk about it. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words on the backbone of a lifetime spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man that rises and sleeps under the blanket of freedom that I provide and then question the manner in which I provide it.
Thank you.
I'm a fool.
What a talent.
And there they are next to each other. That's amazing. Greg Cody right now looks like somebody who is doing nefarious things on behalf of the military on a base in Cuba. Was it Havana or was it Guantanamo? Where were they?
Guantanamo Bay.
Where were they?
You can't handle the truth.
Lucas did it. He looks good.
He
Yeah,
did.
they have it,
Lucas,
Lucas.
unbelievable.
Good job.
Lucas,
Yeah, you did a good job, man.
Lucas,
Professional.
shout out your authentically Hispanic barbershop in Kendall, Lewis. Shout it out.
Guys. 5-Star Cuts Barbershop. Come check us out. Knock off 20 years off you.
Yes, he will.
It's Lucas.
Talk to him.
$5.
Make you look like a good man.